All right. So.
Tell us what's happening, Sherm. What is this?
This is my still, Lori. And I'm not making the good stuff. No hooch tonight. This is lavender essential oil that we're making. We filled this basket up full of buds and flowers. I'm going to turn it on now. We're going to go for a little walk around the farm, and by the time we get back, we'll be dripping hydrosol out of here, and we'll have a nice level of essential oil.
Can I ask a couple questions?
You absolutely can.
So
and
you
I'm
said
going to lie if I don't know the answer. So.
I'm all right with that. So you're saying you filled this bit with stems and buds, and so that's just a big tub of flowers.
Yep.
And then you got a hose coming up here.
Okay, so underneath that, I have water up to about that level.
Right.
And an element in there that I'm going to turn on, and it's going to start boiling that water.
Okay.
And all the steam's going to go up through my flowers and up into this. The hoses are going to bring cold water in, condense the steam that's coming up.
Right.
And it's going to turn to water, come down in here, separate the oil from the water. Water's going to drip in there, and the oil's going to stay in the tube.
Okay. Interesting. So that's the part where you're saying earlier that when you get the water and you get the oil. So then this is the part where it splits up so that you can make your different products.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
And what is this thing?
That just keeps my water level. As we're taking water out, we need to replace it
Right.
to keep steaming.
Like the back of a toilet.
It's exactly like that.
Exactly.
That's my contribution.
So,
Let's
so
flush
this
this sucker.
still is not as pretty as some that you can get,
Okay.
but Sherm, you can tell them the difference between the stainless and the coppers.
I don't know. One's copper colored and one's stainless colored.
Okay.
That's an answer.
There you go.
He's not
Very
wrong.
technical. Very technical.
And like, so this is filled to the brim with flowers. How many, like, of your bottles of essential oil do you get out of that?
I wished I could tell
One.
you that full jug.
Really?
Yeah.
So you got a whole shop full of stuff. How long does it take for this to process?
I'll get a batch in probably about an hour.
So like one bottle an hour kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's, well, that's why essential oils are pretty dear too, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But once it happens, like once it's running and doing its thing, and you just said you turned it on or you're about to turn it on?
I'm about to turn it on.
Okay, I was
I'll
gonna
turn
say
it
it
on
runs
right
very
now.
quietly.
It's just an electric burner in there. So.
Oh. So now it's running.
No.
It's just as
it'll
quiet.
start bubbling later. You'll hear it steaming later, but
All right. But you do that, you walk away, you do some other business, and you just come check on it, make sure it's doing what it needs to.
I actually prefer to just sit down in a chair with a beer in my hand and
Make sure, yeah,
make
it's
sure
very
nothing
important.
goes wrong.
Yeah,
It's
you
a
don't
pressure vessel. We don't want it to explode, right?
Right. Yeah, it's very important work.
Cool.
And I'll clean this out. I'll run the lemongrass through here too.
Okay.
When that peppermint's ready, I'll run that through there. We've thought about putting cedar through here to do cedar essential oil.
Very
Also,
neat.
Anything.
So you can just keep doing lavender. Like, what do you have to do between lavender and lemongrass to like cleanse it, or
Just do a really good boil and
get it just
run it through
And
clean.
I'll take this delicate part in and clean it thoroughly too.
right? All this
Yeah.
crazy glass
Yeah.
concoction.
Or still actually come from California.
Oh,
There was a fellow
The
there
hippies
that-
up in the mountains of California.
they
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
Well, very cool. So now that this thing's running, we're going to go for a little walk around the field. You're going to show us a bit about the different plants you have down there, and give a little tour. And then we're going to come back a little later and see how this is looking. Is that right?
You got it.
Yep, we're going to see
Perfect.
the
Let's go.
bees. Let's go see the bees.
Let's go see the bees.
I started counting them the other day, but then they started coming back in again. I lost track.
Messing
And
with your cat, eh?
Ah,
I could get
yeah,
up to
put nail
10.
polish on each one of them.
I want to think.
There is some
We do with the queen, actually.
The queen is all decorated with the color.
Now Rob is getting very comfortable up in there.
Rob.
Is this a concern?
Not at
As-
all.
No,
careful,
As
Rob.
long as Rob
You
doesn't
don't-
stand right in front of their door, they probably don't care at
He's
all.
so brave.
He's watched the bee
I'm
movie.
20 feet away and I'm nervous. So all the honey and stuff is right in there. You got to like take the things out, and
Yeah, I don't know. I
you don't feel you need to open it if you're not.
don't think I'll get bit.
Okay.
Is in here.
I know.
I'm opening up
As long as
towards
he takes
you
one
guys.
for the team.
Right.
So there they are.
Okay.
They're all making honey up in that top box there.
Wow. Did you make these boxes yourself or did you buy them?
We painted them.
You just painted them.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a guy that makes them for a very efficient price.
Right. Oh, they're all coming out.
Yeah, we better
Oh,
put
God.
it back down, close them back in.
That is
Hi,
the
guys.
condo. So if you lived in Woodstock, that would probably be the Chieftain apartment right there.
Chieftains.
What's the
Not the
difference
new ones on
between
Juliana?
What's the difference between these different boxes? Because these ones, like those ones down there, look different than these. Is there a big difference?
So that's a nuke box. That's where we just got a new queen and about
I have
4
to get away from the
frames.
bees.
okay.
They're just going to get a little bit stronger, and then we'll move them into one of the bigger boxes.
All right.
Sherm, they're really going
So this
in
is
the
our-
in
Kinda
the
upgrade.
box, the nuke one.
Yeah. So this is a real strong one here. The queen lays all their eggs in these 2 boxes generally,
Right.
and they'll put some honey on the outside for get ready for the winter, and I'll put a honey box on top and try to share some with them.
Right. Neato.
Yeah.
And how many jars of honey? Like, how frequent do you have to harvest the honey?
I just do it once or twice a year, but
Okay.
we would hope to get maybe 40 pounds of honey out of this.
Okay.
And I have a friend that's probably going to get 100 out of one box this year. It's
Wow.
just, he's got it about that high.
Tall fella.
Oh, just keeps adding them on.
And what are these notes?
That stands for queen right. So that means the queen's in there. We go in every 2 weeks and inspect to make sure the queen's still in there. She's still doing her job.
It's like a little diary
Yep.
about the happenings, the buzzings about the hive.
Yep. It's
Do you
the
call it a
news.
hive?
Yep.
Is this a hive?
These are hives, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool in the spring. They all come in with the big orange and yellow sacks on their legs of pollen, and pretty neat to watch. You can just sit here and stare at them for a while.
Yeah, it's kind of mesmerizing to see them hard at work there.
This is these 2 outer rows here of royal velvet, and these 2 outer rows, they're just a year-old plant. So we put those in a year ago, long weekend, May.
Okay.
So when we talked about when we started the field and put our 100 so plants in,